What if I told you that Avengers, Infinity War, the film that shattered box office records and left millions speechless, was hiding a web of secrets far darker than anything Thanos could dream up? From near walkouts to secret rewrites, and even deleted scenes that could have changed the entire MCU. Marvel's most ambitious crossover wasn't just chaos on screen, the real drama was happening behind the camera. Today, we're diving into the untold stories Marvel never wanted you to hear. We're talking cast tensions, hidden plot twists that were scrapped last minute, and a few accidents that mysteriously disappeared from official press releases. You might think you've seen Infinity War a dozen times, but trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at it the same way again. Buckle up, Marvel fans. This is the dark side of Infinity War. Let's start with the elephant in the galaxy, the ending. Yes, that devastating snap. Half the universe gone in seconds. It was bold, unexpected, and apparently it wasn't even the original plan. According to insiders close to the production, early drafts had Tony Stark dying instead of Peter Parker. Why the change? Studio fears. Marvel reportedly worried that killing off Iron Man in Infinity War before the final film would derail fan momentum and risk alienating audiences. So instead, they swapped out emotional weight for long-term strategy. Smart business? Sure. But artistic integrity? That's still up for debate. And while we're on the topic of rewrites, Infinity War was being rewritten even while it was being filmed. That's not speculation. That's coming from the cast themselves. Benedict Cumberbatch admitted in interviews that he only received partial scripts and often didn't know who he was fighting or why. Tom Holland, famously terrible at keeping secrets, wasn't even given a full script. In fact, he thought he was filming a wedding scene when he was actually being dusted. That kind of secrecy wasn't just about avoiding leaks. It reflected real trust issues between the studio and its stars. But the tension didn't stop at the script level. Let's talk about scheduling and what it did to the cast. With so many A-list actors and overlapping storylines, Infinity War was a logistical nightmare. Some actors, like Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson, reportedly had to film scenes with stand-ins and green screens because they couldn't be on set at the same time. That's right, some iconic scenes were filmed with actors reacting to tennis balls. And it wasn't just awkward, it strained relationships. There were whispers of resentment behind the scenes, especially from actors who felt their screen time or character arcs were getting overshadowed in the chaos. Now here's a juicy one, the Hulk. Remember how the trailers showed the Hulk charging into battle in Wakanda? Yeah, that never happened. That wasn't a misdirection, it was a full-on fake scene. Marvel created and distributed false footage to throw off fans and even the media. And here's the twist. Some insiders say even the cast didn't know what was real and what was part of the fake script initiative. That level of secrecy, it comes at a cost. Some actors reportedly felt manipulated and misled, questioning how much control they had over the characters they spent a decade building. Let's dig even deeper. A lesser-known secret? The almost cameos that never made it. For example, Catherine Langford, star of 13 Reasons Why, actually filmed scenes as an older version of Tony Stark's daughter. Entire emotional sequences were shot and then completely cut from the film. Why? Because test audiences reportedly found it confusing. Instead of reworking the scene, Marvel axed it, entirely burying what could have been one of the film's most emotionally resonant moments. And then there's the question of money. Infinity War grossed over $2 billion, but not everyone walked away happy. Some secondary actors, those who carried early phases of the MCU, were quietly phased out or given significantly less screen time. Rumors swirled that this was a calculated move to shift the spotlight to newer, more marketable faces like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Marvel's about branding, after all, And when billions are on the line, nostalgia doesn't always win. Lastly, let's not forget the VFX crunch. The visual effects team behind Infinity War worked under intense deadlines and mounting pressure. Multiple VFX artists have anonymously revealed how Marvel demanded last-minute changes that forced them into 16-hour days, 7-day weeks. While the final product looked polished, the process was brutal. Burnout and frustration were rampant, and some say the studio's demand for perfection came at the cost of people's well-being. So next time you watch Avengers: Infinity War, remember what you saw on screen was only half the story. Behind the blockbuster was a whirlwind of chaos, control, and calculated decisions. Marvel may have crafted a cinematic masterpiece, but it wasn't without sacrifices and secrets. And if this is what we do know, just imagine what's still being kept under wraps. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Marvel's hidden world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more behind-the-scenes breakdowns. Until next time, keep questioning what you think you know.